Hey everybody, Marcos Villegas here with Willie Monroe Jr., who fights Gabriel Rosado this Saturday at the Canelo versus Smith co-main event. Man, there's been a lot of talking between you two. That's something that I've been seeing on social media. How did all this start? That's what I'm wondering.
Well, honestly, the talking has been more on his behalf. I've just been saying God bless. I mean, it started from a Twitter post. Someone tagged me in a Twitter post and said, would you fight at Gabriel Rosado? I gave him a compliment. I said, he's a good fighter, but I don't think a fight with Gabriel Rosado would do anything significant for my career at this point. And this was back before he fought. It was like right after he fought Kaladi. There was no disrespect. That's just how I felt at that point. And he, I guess he, took offense to that and started going in on me. And I just told him, I said, well, I even tweeted him, said, look, man, I actually like you as a fighter, man. Like, you're barking up the wrong tree right now. I like you as a fighter. Let's try to calm down. And then he just kept going. So I said, okay, let him talk. And then they asked us to fight. They called Artie Palullo and asked, will we fight Billy Joe Saunders on this card? And Billy Joe Saunders and his team turned us down immediately. And Artie Palullo called me back, was like, it looks like Gabriel Rosado is in play. Billy Joe Saunders' team said absolutely not. We even tried to sell him on the fight. I told my management, I said, yo, go back and tell him I only have 6 knockouts. It's not like it's going to be a dangerous fight. And they were like, no, we're well aware of who Monroe is, So they were in negotiations with Rosado, and then I guess that fell apart. I guess not Liam Smith, but Billy Joe Saunders had bigger and better things he's looking for. So then me and Gabriel Rosado turned our attention to each other and said, absolutely. So here we are. Almost a year after that little beef, we're fighting. So
That's crazy. It's been a whole year since all that interchange happened. Don't feel bad. Saunders said no to a lot of people, so that's kind of what's happened currently.
You never know if he's really scared, or you got to realize that boxing is 95% business. So he's not necessarily scared of me and Gabriel Rosado. He may just be like, look, that's not a good business move for me. I'm champion. I have control of what's going on. I dictate the pace, so you have to respect that. But I think Gabriel Rosado he took offense to it that I said he at least made it to negotiations. But it's facts. When my name came up, they were like, absolutely not. And they at least made it to negotiations. That's the truth. How it made it to negotiations for them and not for me, I don't know, but it's the truth.
Looking at Rosado, you mentioned earlier that you didn't think it was really a good fight for you. Coming into this fight now and you looking at him as a fighter, do you see him as a good, solid, dangerous fighter, or do you feel otherwise?
He's a big middleweight. He's strong. So, any guy, at 160, he has good height on him, it's going to be dangerous. You feel what I'm saying? But it's all about intellect. I tell people all the time it's all about intellect. I'm a chess player, and once you try to bully the board and try to really make it something that's not intellectual, then you downgrade the chess. And when have you ever seen a chess player? You downgrade the checkers. So when have you ever seen a checker player be the chess player? Think about that. So
it's very true in terms of the analogy you're making.
Yeah.
Looking at the last fight that he had and the prior ones, it seems every time he's had a big fight or a big opportunity, sometimes it doesn't go his way.
Right. When
you look at it, why do you feel it hasn't really gone his way?
He's been in some big fights and some tough fights, and some fights he was winning. He just gotta, it's just like other different fighters in the game. He got a raw deal with some things. But that also goes back to how your team prepares you. That also goes back how your team prepares you on the business end of it. Are you making the right amount of money? Is it the right risk for the amount of money you're making? That I don't know. Only Gabriel Rosado knows that. But he's done movies. Look what has opened up for him. He's a little movie star now. So I don't know why he hates Willie Monroe so much. There's so many other things he could be doing. But I seem to be a pain in everybody's behind these days. So I don't know why. I'm a nice guy. You never see me doing anything crazy. But hey, it is what it is.
How do you see the fight playing out? And do you feel that there's any chance whatsoever that he could draw you out into his type of fight?
No, he's not. Obviously, you could tell he's not as mentally as strong as me. We did the first call. He got on the phone calling me all out of my name, cursing at me and everything. And we had to wait on the phone for 45 minutes to actually do our interview. And when we got to the part to do our interview, he started cursing and going all out. And he expected for me to go back at him. He waited for 45 minutes to get an argument. It never happened. So I guess I'm up one, right?
How do you see it playing out the night of the fight?
Easy work for Willie Monroe.
How so, though? Why do you feel it'd be so easy?
just intellect, man. When you got a guy that comes in there, and don't get me wrong, you have to have courage, you have to have balls to fight, but you also have to have intelligence. You know, even Mike Tyson said that. We know him as the knockout guy, one of the toughest guys in boxing. But Tyson said himself, you know, tough guys don't last in this game. It's about the smart guys. You know, and as powerful as he was, and as big as a knockout puncher as he was also very intellectual. He was very intelligent in the ring. So I mean, if he comes in there and he tries to, you know, out physical me, outspeed me, that's on him. He's already downgraded the checkers then. You know what I mean? Like, my grandfather raised me to be an intelligent fighter. He said you can outspeed some guys, but there are going to be guys that are faster than you. You can overpower some guys, but there are going to be guys that are more powerful than you. You can be stronger than some guys, but there are some guys that are stronger than you. But you can outthink anyone. So I'm going to go with that.
You and him have something in common in terms of a similar rival, and that's Gennady Golovkin. Both of you guys had a fight with him. He's recently made some comments that kind of stirred the pot and made people scratch their heads one way or the other. He feels that maybe there's some tampering going on with the gloves or the wraps. You fought Gennady. How likely is that? And I'm just trying to get a general consensus of what do you make of these comments that he said.
I mean, they could be very true. What people don't realize is, you know, I tell people this, right? You know, after my fight, some tweets from some bigger name people, I won't say, went out about Gennady's gloves looking suspect when I fought him. I retweeted the tweets. You know, you're in the heat of the moment, you retweet. Then everybody started looking at me saying, oh, you're a sore loser, you're this, you're that. And what people don't realize is when you talk about the politics of boxing and the little edges that make guys, that separate the good from the greats, what people don't realize, I tell people this, right? You could be working at McDonald's and you will say, man, the boss doesn't like me, he's not giving me enough hours. Oh man, he's trying to give this person hours over me. Oh, he likes her better than he likes me. If politics exists on a level where we're talking minimum wage, what makes you think it doesn't exist on a level when we're talking superstardom, millions of dollars? You got to be a special kind of stupid to say there's politics at a job, at a 9-to-5, but there's no politics in a world-renowned sport with millions of dollars. There's no way I'm going to put millions of dollars into one person and make sure they don't have a slight edge somewhere. So I'm not saying it's the gloves. I'm not making any comments. I'm not saying anything specific. But what I'm saying is the fans have to be a little bit more intelligent and stop looking at Instagram, stop looking at Twitter, stop looking at Facebook and allowing that to lead you. Use your own brain. You have eyes. You got ears. You hear what a bunch of people are saying. You see what you see on TV. If a glove looks smaller, it looks smaller. That's facts. It's not your eyes aren't playing tricks on you. And if your gloves look smaller every single fight, you got to say to yourself, well, man, maybe it is. Maybe it's the way his gloves are made. Maybe he has bigger hands and the gloves sort of contract when he expands. You never know. But I'm not making any comments and saying it is or it isn't. But Gabriel Rosado isn't the only fighter that has said that about him. So, I mean, that's something they would have to figure out. You know what I mean? I would never try to degrade anybody or tear anybody down because at the end of the day, Gennady's done what he's had to do to be a great fighter. He's a great middleweight champion. I fell short. Everybody's fell short of beating him. He's an undefeated champion, and I wish the best to him.
Main event, you're saying it could be, well, given the styles.
Yeah, everybody's saying that this fight could be main event.
Given the trash talk and stuff, but I can't wait. It's certainly a fight that I want to see given what's been going on over the year. Willie, as always, great seeing you. Thank you so much. God Willie Monroe, of course, fighting Gabriel Rosado as the co-main event on this Canelo versus Smith card here at Jerry's World AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas.